Welcome back to Gun Sage. I'm glad you could join us today. If you are watching this, you likely understand that the world is currently navigating a period of profound uncertainty. We are not here to entertain exaggerated scenarios of global collapse or Hollywood fiction. We are here to have a quiet, serious conversation about heritage, mechanical longevity, and the profound responsibility of being the final protector of your homestead. In an era where supply chains demonstrate their fragility and global tensions simmer, the prudent citizen does not panic. The prudent citizen prepares. We study history because history is an unforgiving teacher. It shows us that when infrastructure falters, the responsibility of defense, sustenance, and order falls squarely upon the shoulders of the individual. You need defensive tools that are time-tested, proven through decades of service, and built with uncompromising metallurgical standards. Today, we are evaluating a carefully curated armory of 7 distinct firearms. These are not passing trends. They are mechanical masterpieces designed to offer surgical precision and undeniable authority when you need it most. If you value the mechanical purity of well-made firearms and take your Second Amendment heritage seriously, I invite you to subscribe. Let us step into the armory and examine the tools of the quiet professional. We begin our evaluation with a platform built to command the horizon. When you live in open country, agricultural land, or regions where standoff distance is your primary tactical advantage, an intermediate cartridge simply does not possess the kinetic energy required for the task. You must be able to reach out across a valley, defeat modern barriers, and deliver a definitive impact. For this, we look to the Springfield Armory M1A. This rifle is the direct, civilian legal descendant of the mighty M14, a design deeply rooted in the genius of John C. Gare, and it represents the pinnacle of the traditional wood-and-steel American battle rifle. When you handle an M1A, you are holding a piece of history. The mechanics of this rifle are a symphony of mid-century engineering. It operates via a short-stroke gas piston located under the barrel, which violently drives a massive operating rod and a rotating bolt. This action was designed to function in the freezing mountains of Korea and the sweltering humidity of Southeast Asia. When you shoulder the M1A, the first thing you notice is the heft. At over 9 pounds unloaded, it is a substantial piece of equipment. However, that weight is a mechanical advantage. It acts as a physical buffer, eating the stout recoil of the 7.62 by 51 mm NATO cartridge, allowing you to stay on the glass or the sights. Speaking of sights, the M1A is legendary for its national match grade iron sights, featuring a 0.62-inch front blade and a fully adjustable rear aperture. These are widely considered the finest mechanical sights ever affixed to a battle rifle. Paired with a barrel featuring a 1 in 11-inch twist rate, the rifle effortlessly stabilizes 168 grains projectiles, offering surgical precision out to 600 yards and beyond. It is heavy, and the ammunition requires a logistical commitment, but the Springfield M1A provides an uncompromising authority that simply cannot be replicated by lighter platforms. Moving from the sprawling plains to the necessity of the beltline, we address the evolution of the modern service pistol. For decades, military sidearms were rigid, all-metal affairs that forced the shooter to adapt to the gun. But modern defensive scenarios are fluid, demanding a sidearm that can adapt to the user. In 2017, the United States military recognized this shift, seeking a platform that offered unprecedented adaptability. The solution was the Sig Sauer M17. Built upon the P320 architecture, the M17 dismantled the traditional concept of handgun manufacturing. The true mechanical brilliance of this firearm lies in its serialized stainless steel fire control unit. This internal chassis houses the trigger mechanism and is the legally recognized firearm. It can be effortlessly extracted and dropped into various polymer grip modules. If you need a full-size 21-round duty pistol to secure a fixed perimeter, the M17 serves that role natively. If you must travel discreetly and require a compact footprint, that exact same fire control unit can be moved into a smaller grip in seconds. Mechanically, the M17 is a striker-fired system offering a remarkably clean break, typically measuring between 5.5 to 6.5 pounds. is a massive improvement over the heavy double-action triggers of the past. The 4.7-inch barrel features a 1 in 10 twist, meticulously optimizing the performance of modern 9mm defensive hollow points. Furthermore, Sig Sauer coats the slide in a highly durable PVD finish, ensuring the metallurgy is protected from caustic sweat in harsh environments. The factory optic cut is perhaps its most vital modern feature. As our vision matures, aligning 3 focal planes becomes difficult. The ability to seamlessly mount a red dot optic allows the seasoned protector to remain threat-focused, ensuring rapid, precise shot placement. It is a time-tested concept elevated by modern modularity. While battle rifles and service pistols dominate the conversation of defense, a truly sustainable armory must account for the quiet, daily realities of homestead preservation and fundamental skill building. You cannot afford to exhaust your premium centerfire ammunition on small game or while teaching a grandson the fundamentals of marksmanship. You require a dedicated sustenance tool. Introduced in 1964 by the visionary Bill Ruger, the Sturm Ruger 1022 was initially dismissed by purists as a simple recreational tool. However, its uncompromising reliability quickly cemented its status as an American heritage firearm. The genius of the 1022 is found in its rotary magazine. Prior to this design, rimfire magazines were notorious for rim lock and feeding failures. Ruger utilized a beryllium copper rotor that perfectly separated and aligned each 22 long rifle cartridge, feeding them into the chamber with the reliability of a much larger platform. The Cold Hammer forged barrel typically features a 1 in 16-inch twist rate, which is the mathematically perfect rotation for stabilizing standard 40 grains, lead round nose projectiles. At just over 5 pounds, the rifle is practically recoilless. When you operate 1022, the simple blowback action cycles with a quiet, satisfying precision. It allows you to carry bricks of ammunition in a pack without fatigue, providing a near-endless capacity for foraging and small game harvesting. The receiver is milled from an aerospace-grade aluminum alloy, ensuring it resists the elements while remaining light enough for any member of the family to operate. It is the quiet cornerstone of a well-prepared home. Returning to the realm of the defensive sidearm, we must acknowledge that modularity is excellent, but sometimes you simply need the undisputed, monolithic standard of reliability. You need a defensive tool that has been torture-tested across every continent and adopted by the most elite law enforcement and military units on the globe. That brings us to the Glock 19, specifically the Generation 5 iteration. When Gaston Glock introduced his polymer frame pistol in the early 1980s, traditional steel and wood purists scoffed. They severely underestimated the engineering. The Glock 19 is a lesson in attractive design. It removes every unnecessary lever, decocker, and external safety that could potentially induce a user error under the massive physiological stress of a defensive encounter. You acquire your grip, present the firearm, and press the trigger. The Gen 5 model refines this heritage. The slide is treated with an NDLC finish, a diamond-like carbon coating that achieves a staggering Rockwell hardness of 64 HRC. This makes the external metallurgy virtually impervious to rust, blood, and abrasive environments. Inside, the Glock Marksman barrel utilizes a modified polygonal rifling, which creates a tighter gas seal around the projectile, marginally increasing muzzle velocity while drastically extending the barrel's lifespan. The Safe Action system provides a consistent 5.5-pound trigger pull from the first shot to the 15th. When firing the Glock 19, the exceptionally low-bore axis channels the recoil impulse directly straight back into the meat of your hand, drastically mitigating muzzle flip. This allows for incredibly fast, surgically precise follow-up shots. It is not the most exotic pistol in the safe, but it is the undeniable baseline of modern readiness. As we enter the upper tier of our armory, we must address the reality of the modern musket. In any scenario requiring the defense of your property from multiple threats, a magazine-fed, intermediate caliber platform is absolutely essential. The AR-15 platform has evolved from its aerospace origins in the 1950s into the most refined and reliable defensive rifle in American history. For this critical role, we examine the Smith & Wesson M and P15. The core of this rifle's performance is the direct impingement, or more accurately, the internal expanding gas system designed by Eugene Stoner. This system bleeds high-pressure gas from the barrel and channels it directly into the bolt carrier group. While it does introduce carbon into the receiver, it fundamentally reduces the mass of the moving parts. When you press the trigger on an M and P15, the recoil is remarkably soft, absorbed efficiently by the buffer spring system in the stock. And this makes the rifle highly manageable for users of smaller stature or older shooters who may be sensitive to heavy recoil. The M and P15 utilizes receivers forged from 7075 T6 aluminum, finished with a Type 3 hard coat anodizing that provides a barrier against the harshest elements. The barrel typically features a 1 in 9-inch twist rate, perfectly balancing the stabilization of inexpensive 55 grains training ammunition with heavier 62 grains defensive loads. Furthermore, the barrel is treated with Smith & Wesson's Armornite finish, a salt bath nitride process that hardens the steel both inside and out, ensuring incredible longevity. The ergonomics are simply unmatched. The safety selector, magazine release, and bolt catch are placed exactly where the human hand naturally rests. It is a proven logistical powerhouse, ensuring that parts, magazines, and 5.56mm ammunition will be accessible for generations. When the perimeter is breached and the threat is immediate, fine motor skills degrade rapidly. In the darkness of a hallway or the confined space of a home, you do not need precision magnification. You need a tool that delivers raw, devastating kinetic energy. You need the uncompromising authority of the pump-action shotgun. The Mossberg 500 stands as a titan of American home defense. Designed in 1961 by Oscar Mossberg, it was built to be an absolute workhorse. Its pedigree was cemented when it became the only shotgun to pass the United States military's punishing Mil-Spec 3443E torture test, enduring thousands of rounds of buckshot without a single catastrophic failure. The genius of the Mossberg 500 lies in its mechanical independence. Because it is manually operated by the shooter, it does not rely on the specific gas pressures of the ammunition to cycle. You can run high-brass Magnum slugs to stop a heavy predator, and in the next pump, chamber standard double-aught buckshot for devastating room-clearing capability. Mechanically, the 500 utilizes an aircraft-grade aluminum receiver, keeping the overall weight to a manageable 7.5 pounds. The action is driven by twin steel action bars, ensuring that the pump stroke remains perfectly aligned and bind-free, even when you are racking it under extreme adrenaline. It features dual extractors that tear spent hulls out of the chamber with violent reliability. Furthermore, the ambidextrous tang safety is brilliantly positioned on the top rear of the receiver. This allows the protector to instantly verify the condition of the weapon visually and tactilely with the firing thumb, regardless of whether they are shooting from the right or left shoulder. It is the ultimate close-quarters defensive tool, offering a level of stopping power that rifles and handguns simply cannot match. This brings us to the paramount selection for our armory. The number one position cannot merely be a good firearm, it must be a mechanical masterpiece built for absolute longevity. If we are discussing a world where maintenance supplies vanish, where environments are austere, and where a rifle simply must function regardless of neglect, we look past stamped sheet metal and embrace forged steel. The Arsenal SAM-7R is the undisputed king of uncompromising reliability. Mikhail Kalashnikov designed his famous rifle for illiterate peasant armies fighting in the mud. Arsenal of Bulgaria took that rugged blueprint and elevated it to a premium standard. The heart of the SAM-7R is its milled receiver. Unlike standard AK variants that are stamped and bent from a thin sheet of steel, the SAM-7R receiver begins its life as a 5-ton block of hot forged steel. It is then subjected to 3.5 hours of meticulous CNC machining, carving away the excess to reveal a chassis that is virtually indestructible. This forging process aligns the grain structure of the steel, making it vastly stronger than standard cast or stamp receivers. It completely eliminates the receiver flex that plagues lesser rifles. Inside, the long-stroke gas piston system is deliberately overgassed. It utilizes the heavy bolt carrier as a battering ram, ensuring that even if the chamber is fouled with carbon, mud, or sand, the weapon will violently cycle and chamber the next round. The barrel is cold hammer forged by St. Ayer and heavily hard chrome lined, protecting the 1 in 9.4-inch twist, rifling from the corrosive properties of surplus ammunition. Firing the SM-7R is an experience. Despite chambering the heavier 7.62 by 39mm cartridge, the dense milled steel receiver soaks up the harmonic resonance and recoil, making it surprisingly smooth to operate. It is heavy, the ergonomics are undeniably antiquated, and mounting modern optics requires dedicated side rail hardware. But in exchange for those minor inconveniences, you receive a defensive tool with a service life that will easily outlast your grandchildren. It is the ultimate investment in mechanical heritage and family protection. There you have it, 7 meticulously engineered, time-tested tools that provide a foundation of security for the uncompromising protector. From the quiet precision of the Sturm, Ruger 1022 to the indestructible metallurgy of the Arsenal, SM-7R, and an armory built upon these platforms will not fail you. However, you must remember that purchasing the hardware is merely the first step. True readiness is forged on the range, through disciplined training and an unwavering mindset. Do not let the shifting winds of the modern world drive you to panic. Let them drive you to the range. I highly recommend taking the time to inspect your own safe, identify the mechanical gaps in your capability,